Hey Robert, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. One thing James noted on Friday night was how proud he was that the defense finished things off with the shutout, despite having third stringers and true freshmen all over the field. What does that speak to you about the depth of this defense and kind of when you come to the sideline, when starters come to a sideline, the next man up is at a high level as well, it seems?
Right, you kind of said it yourself. Like, that just tells us that we have the depth and we have faith in the next guy up. So it's a good feeling to know that I can and a bunch of other starters can come off the field and have a good backup in for us.
Like I mentioned, one of those guys, Adiza Isaac, had a sack and a half flashed out there. Has he kind of flashed since he got here back in January? I know he's added 15 or so pounds, but I mean, were you surprised or were you anticipating that when he got a shot, he would kind of do that?
I wasn't surprised, and more than anything, I was just happy for him. He got his opportunity and he took advantage of it.
Hey Robert, what have your thoughts been on having HBO here for the past few days now, and what do you think, what do you expect out of the episode that comes out?
I think it's going to be fun to watch just because it's about us, but nothing's really changed, you know. It's just another camera in the room. Everyone's just kind of going about their business as usual.
Do you ever get disappointed if a good player on the other team isn't going to play?
That's a tricky question, but at the same time, it's like, okay, he's not playing, so that helps us, but at another time, we're like, we want him to play and be able to stop him because that just shows how good we are. So it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Who would be the best player that you've played against, you think? Maybe specific either to your position or just the guy that you try to tackle?
That's a tough one. Who was that? The starting center who went from Ohio State who went to the league a while ago. I can't remember. Yeah, Billy Price. He was a good one.
Hey Robert, before the season, you said that this was the best Penn State defense you've played on. 4 games into the season, has your opinion changed at all?
No, I have complete faith in my guys.
What is it about this defense? Has anything surprised you, positively in these first few weeks?
I would say the thing that's most surprising to me about this week is how we swarm to the ball as a defense. Like I'm seeing there's the running back and they're surrounded by a bunch of blue and white. So that's been really impressive to me.
The HBO Hard Knocks with the Texans, the team held a imitation contest of Bill O'Brien. Is that kind of contest taking place this week for HBO with James?
I don't know, but we can get that arranged.
Who does the best imitation?
Antonio Shelton.
Cool. Hey, as someone who has filmed you a lot, what's it like kind of constantly being filmed?
You just kind of get numb to it after a while. It's just like, oh, there's camera. Like, at first it's kind of weird and you just kind of don't be yourself. But you learn to be yourself. It's just like they're there all the time.
Going against the O-line every week in practice, how impressed were you with their kind of bounce-back performance against Maryland, and what did you see in practice that kind of led to that kind of impressive performance?
Well, I was really pleased with it, and they get better every week because we go hard. We do good versus good every week, and we're going all out. So I'm getting them better, they're getting me better. So I'm really proud of our guys for their performance.
You guys are wearing those different uniforms this week. What's favorite element of that for you?
Looking good.
Is it like what's the favorite part about it? And some of your teammates like.
We really like the white cleats. They really pop.
Was it having to face like 4 running backs? It seems like a rotation in practice. Is there any differences between them in terms of styles, and especially with the freshmen Kane and Ford? What makes them more difficult, or what makes them different?
I mean, they all have their own style of play. Like Noah will lower his shoulder, and Devin will try to juke you. We got power backs, we have speed backs, so it's good to have both.
If you guys feel like you haven't gotten to the backfield for sacks as much as maybe you would want to, can you explain to me what is it that an offense can do, or what is it that an offensive line can do that makes that harder for you?
Well, one thing I think is that offenses, they know we have a good D-line, so they prepare for us. So one, they're getting the ball out quick, and 2, they're max protecting. So I'm not really worried about the sacks. I know they're going to come.
maybe better explain to us if you can, the challenge when guys, we know Etor is gonna garner more attention, how that impacts the rest of you guys, because it's not just a kind of a one-on-one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, could you ask that again?
Yeah, what changes when teams are putting a lot of attention on Etor? How does that impact the rest of you guys? Is
Well, when
that-
teams put a lot of attention on Etor, that frees up either someone on the inside or the other defensive end, because he's taking it to two guys, and then one of us gets a one-on-one, and we gotta win those one-on-one matchups.
Is it difficult when you go back and look at it though? Do you feel like there have been some one-on-one matchups that you guys maybe could have won and didn't, or how do you kind of assess that?
I mean, I'm sure there has been some one-on-ones that we have lost, but there's also some that we've won, and we just go back and get better, and we're gonna continue to get better each week.
You need a mic.
Can you just discuss the challenges that Purdue's offense is going to bring this week?
Well, as you know, their QB's out, their best wide receiver, we don't know, he's questionable, but that's not gonna change our approach at all. We're expecting, we're just gonna play how we play defense, hard-nosed defense. And we're expecting a lot of pass.
Robert, there's been a lot of talk about the HBO people being around. Is Hard Knocks something that a lot of the players watch during your own training camp? Have you watched it over the years, and how much, are guys kind of fans of that show?
I mean, yeah, guys watch it because some of our former teammates are on it, and we like to talk about it, so it's a cool thing.
Anything else for Robert?
A couple guys I know you see in practice is Roberson and Johnson at quarterback. Johnson traveled with the team this past week, so I guess that's a good sign for him. What did both of those guys do to challenge you on a daily basis, and how are they different, those two freshman quarterback, and how they're able to challenge your first team and second team defense on the practice field?
Well, they get us better every day by trying their hardest, and they get frustrated sometimes being over there on the scout team because obviously they want to be with the ones and twos, but they know their role and they're playing it.
And in that same regard, Will Levis was in that role last year. Was he as fiery in that role, leading the scout team offense, as we've seen him in games where he's just kind of juiced up and going head on? And
100%. Will's Will, yeah.
he was like that
The
on.
Will you see is the Will he was last year, yeah.
Okay.
You said former teammates on Hard Knocks, are you talking about NASA?
Yeah, just an example, like massive.
He was giving financial advice, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I don't know how accurate it was, but he was.
Anything else for Rob?
Yeah, I have one more, if that's okay. The Juice Scruggs, with the situation he's been through, to see him getting back into football at this point, what has that kind of meant to everybody else on the team? And I know that you've probably gone against him a bunch. What was that like, and what's it like seeing him, from your perspective, get back into it?
Well, we're obviously happy to see our teammate get healthier, and he's putting in the work, and that just shows that if you work hard, it's going to pay off, especially even when it comes to injuries.